Good job, man. My timepiece shortly after 2 p.m., August the 10th, 2023. My name's Dan Carney. I'm the chairman of the Weatherford College Board of Trustees. This is a meeting of the Board of Trustees for Weatherford College to be held on today's date, Thursday, August the 10th, 2023, 2 p.m. in the community room of the Emerging Technologies and Workforce Building located at 225 College Park Drive, Weatherford, Texas. Consider and act upon a posted agenda. I do call this meeting to order, and I would call upon Doug Dow to give us an invocation.
Sure. You'll pray with me. Lord, thank you for this day, Lord. Lord, we pray for rain, and we pray for it soon, Lord. We just ask that you watch over Weatherford College, Lord. Be with the instructors, the administration, and most of all the students, Lord, as they come back for another semester. Lord, pray that they would have a great school year, keep them safe. Lord, be with us as we deliberate today. We pray these things in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Doug. I'll leave us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 on the agenda is public comment for any individuals that are not on the agenda. Ms. Worley, welcome back. Good to see you again. Do we have any individuals today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no individuals to speak today. Item number 3 on the agenda, the President's report. Dr. Farmer, would you help us?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair and members of the Weatherford College Board of Trustees, I would like to give a few brief recognitions, employee notices, and an enrollment update. Recognitions. WC Diagnostic Medical Sonography Program graduates Talena Haley and Ina Begma were recently hired by the Mayo Clinic. Our highly ranked program continues to produce high caliber graduates. Great job, Kelly Staub and team. WC's volleyball, women's basketball, baseball, softball, women's tennis, and men's golf teams were all recently honored by the National Junior College Athletic Association as Academic Teams of the Year. Each squad achieved a team grade point average of 3.0 or higher. In all, 45 WC student athletes were named NJCAA All-Academic. The same discipline that leads to success on the competition surfaces leads to success in the classroom. Go Coyotes! 2 more former WC baseball players were recently selected in the Major League Baseball draft. The Texas Rangers selected Paul Bungzagny in the 12th round, and the Minnesota Twins drafted Cade Bragg in the 17th round. 45 WC baseball players have been drafted by the MLB since the program began in 2003. Employee notices. DMAC Local requires the college president to provide the names of contract employees that have resigned since the last board meeting. Phyllis Grandeos, an instructor in nursing, resigned effective 8/14/23. Caitlin Ferguson, a student support specialist, resigned effective 8/3/23. Daryl Jackson, our men's assistant basketball coach, resigned effective 8/3/23. And Jane Rogers, the assistant director of purchasing, resigned 8/11/23. We thank Felix, Caitlin, Daryl, and Jane for their service and wish them the very best in future endeavors. Enrollment update. The enrollment report as of Monday, August 7th for the fall 2023 semester was 4,308 students enrolled compared to 3,624 students year to date. With registration ongoing, that represents an 18.9% enrollment increase of 684 students. The final summer 2023 enrollment was 1,875 students enrolled compared to 1,771 students enrolled in the summer 2022 semester. That represents a 5.8% enrollment increase of 104 students. Mr. Chair, that concludes the President's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 4 on our posted agenda is the consent agenda and financial reports. Item A, approval of minutes from the July 13th regular board meeting. Item B, financial reports ending July 31, 2023. Item C, policy BD local, future board meeting times and dates. Item D, approval of color and web printing services, number SB 0124. Item number E, approval of faculty rank and promotion procedures. Is there any discussion or comment from any of the board members with regard to any of those items? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda and financial reports as stated?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appears to be unanimous. Item number 5, consideration and possible action for the proposal of the 2023 ad valorem tax rate and scheduling of public hearing. Dr. Cantrell.
Yes. Can you all hear me from here, or should I go to the podium?
Okay, why don't you go for YouTube purposes, please?
Tuesday, we met at a budget workshop, for those of you that weren't here, to discuss the coming year's budget. We presented a balanced budget to the group of $80,347,806. The total rate required of .106087 equates to a 7.5% increase above the no new revenue rate and is sufficient to fund the 23-24 budget and to meet the needs of the college. I attached, I believe I enclosed for the board members' review, were the 2023 tax rate calculation worksheet that is done by the Parker County Appraisal District, and also the 2023 no new revenue tax rate, which was previously called past years the effective tax rate. The voter approval and the voter approval tax rate, which was previously called the rollback tax rate of .107487. As required by law, it will be necessary for the board to propose a tax rate today before we go into tax hearings. A proposal of a rate above the 2023 no new revenue tax rate requires the board to take a vote on the proposed tax rate and set a time for that public hearing before a final tax rate can be adopted. The administration is proposing at this time that the public hearing be scheduled for Monday, August the 21st of 2023 at 12 p.m. and the vote to approve the proposed tax rate will be scheduled immediately following the hearing on Monday, August the 21st, 2023. One of the things that will happen today, just as soon as you all do make your vote, I will notify the Central Tax Authority and they will develop an advertisement that will go in the paper before the hearing comes out. I believe it will run Tuesday in the newspaper. It has to be 5 days before the actual tax hearing. It has to run in the newspaper. So at that time, he will generate the advertisement and it will discuss the percentages. Mr. Bailey, you were questioning some of those percentages, and those will all be shown on that advertisement. He'll send me a copy back today for review and before it is advertised. But at this time, in summary, the August 10th, 2023 board meeting today, we must act to propose this rate. So, are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion, if I may be heard,
Yes, sir.
that the Board of Trustees propose to adopt the 2023 ad valorem tax rate of 0.106087 on August 21st, 2023, and confirm the tax hearing date and time of August 21, 2023 at 12 p.m. in the community room of the Emerging Technologies and Workforce Building, and immediately following the tax hearing to vote to approve the 2023-24 budget and the 2023 proposed tax rate. That's my motion.
I second.
Having had a motion and a second, we have a vote from the members of the board with the exception of our Wise County representative. All in favor, raise your hand, please. Appears to be, thank you, Dr. Marlatt. Appears to be unanimous of the members who are permitted to vote on that item. I believe we're moving on to item number 6 on the agenda. Consideration and possible action for the approval of a new irrigation well at the main campus project, RFP 06-2Z. Dr. Cantrell.
Okay. We put new in that because it's not directly beside, and that's required by the Trinity Valley Authority when we're getting an approval, but it is a replacement in numbers over what we've had in the past. And so we went out to bid for this. We received one bid only of a total of $832,578. After talking with architects, construction people, and other well people and all that, we feel like this is probably at least $100,000 ahead of what it should be. This is what we've been advised. So at this time, we're recommending that this be rejected, and we'll go out to bid again and bring it back to you at a later time.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that
Accepted,
point?
I guess.
Expected? Okay. Having heard Dr. Cantrell's presentation, is there a motion to reject the proposal that has been presented to us?
I'll move.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Bailey. All in favor of the motion to reject? Appears to be unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 7 on the agenda is a report from President Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 2 reports today, the first of which is provided to you in your board books in written form with our Wise County updates. We're extremely excited about the enrollment growth and all of the fantastic things that are happening for the first year in that campus's history. Money was added to reserves instead of taken from reserves, and the leadership and the team in place there at our Wise County campus is doing a fantastic job as detailed in that report. You also have some program updates and student services updates, as well as our Numbers with Heart update for your review. Our second report today is a verbal report over our dynamic fine arts programs. I am so proud to have our fine arts team here today. We truly have a fantastic fine arts department and are quickly becoming the cultural hub of the 5-county Weatherford College service area. I'm so proud of what they are doing. You've heard their fantastic vocal music, their instrumental music. You heard some piano as you came in. You see the visual art. We have our strong theater arts performance. So they're really dynamic across the board. In just a moment, I'm going to introduce the leader of our arts program, Dean Durrett. But before I do that, I wanted to very briefly tell you about 4 to 5 years ago, Dean Dwayne Durrett asked me to come down to the Fine Arts facility and look at their pianos. And I went down there and he lifted up the tops of those old pianos that were 40, 45 years old, and the soundboards had mold literally all over the pianos. Some of the keys didn't work. I was absolutely astonished at the state of those pianos, and we quickly partnered with the late great Bob Glenn from the Weatherford College Foundation and Brent Baker and engaged on a fundraising campaign, and with private funding through our generous donors, many of whom were our Weatherford College employees. We replaced all of those moldy pianos with beautiful Steinway grand pianos and became an all Steinway institution. The next step, Dr. Song had this idea of creating a piano competition. So she and Dean Durrett came to me and we put our heads together and thought about launching this new piano competition based on the Van Cliburn piano competition. And just 4 years later, this past spring, we had our 4th annual Weatherford College International Piano Competition, and we had participants from Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, England, Georgia, Italy, Korea, Malaysia, Philippines, Poland, Russia, Taiwan, Vietnam, Ukraine, and of course the United States. Just a few of the prestigious institutions represented were Yale University, the Peabody Conservatory, Boston University, Rice University, the Royal College of Music in England, SMU, TCU, the University of Toronto, the Moscow Conservatory of Russia are just a sample of the 43 universities and conservatories that were represented. You know, 4 to 5 years ago, if you would have told us that these musicians would be coming from all over the world to Weatherford, Texas, and staying in our hotels and eating in our restaurants and performing truly world-class music here at Weatherford College, it would have sounded like a pipe dream. And yet, thanks to the people out in the audience today, particularly Dr. Song and Dean Durrett, that particular dream became a reality. And that is just one facet. Dean Durrett is going to tell you about our incredible jazz orchestra and all the other components of our fine arts program. So with that introduction, it's my pleasure to introduce our fantastic Dean of Fine Arts, Dean Dwayne Durrett.
Well, I'm going to leave after that. It doesn't get any better, but thank you, Dr. Farmer. All of y'all's support, we appreciate it. And Andrew, did you get my notes?
Did I get your notes? Oh, I don't know, Brett.
I can do it without it, though.
I thought for sure you could read this. You could do all that other.
Thank you, Chief. First off, I want to introduce the most incredible faculty. And this is the finest fine arts faculty you will see. And I'm saying that for several reasons. One, first off, just their ability, the hard work that's got them into it. Some of you came in and you heard Dr. Song and then Frederick Sanders on piano. The art over here that's displayed, the ones above are from our faculty, and the ones below are from students. And so, besides their ability themselves, but they also, these students are taught by faculty that have the ability to perform at this level. But also, they challenge the students. We have students come in with little talent, and then we have students with much talent. And so this faculty is able to deal with all of that. And that's not easy because, well, for lots of reasons. But also, a very important part is, you know, we're going to talk about each of these areas, art, music, but they all work together. One great example, the students in theater had to do a stage play in the spring of the Acting 2 class, and so it was student directed, but out of the audio engineering, there's a course we teach called MIDI, and MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digitation something, interface. But anyhow, you make sounds with it, with a keyboard. So when you know, if there was glass broken, it sounded like glass being broken. If planes flying over, plane flew over. You thought you heard it. Car door slams, you hear a car door slam. This is kind of collaboration. And Mr. Sanders and the jazz orchestra and the art department had the small group was playing and the art students were painting. And so, paint what you hear. I'll leave it at that. But it was very good, and it's really opened up a lot of things. So I want to introduce, first off, Dr. Song with the piano study. Yes, stand up, please. Frederick Sanders, Jazz Studies. Tim Kimsey with Audio Engineering. Evan Hall, Art. Rick Rainey, Voice, Choir, Opera. I can't see who's over there, Rick. Oh, Sandra. Yes, that's her. I can never get that name out. But she's our administrative assistant. James Brownlee over theater. And Rob Blaney, our department chair, and a very, very talented musician himself. So I applaud him. Okay, for our art department, our faculty is working, some of the things we're doing, working with UTA on an articulation agreement for digital media. As technology comes into everything, it's affecting art, but it's also what the students are doing now. And so we're looking at how we can offer these courses with those articulation agreements. We'll begin providing approved art for exhibits. This art that you see here, we want it around the campus. We're going to start here in the Fine Arts Workforce Building. It's already in the Fine Arts. We're going to go to the Academic Building and the library. And we think, you've got these bare walls, and we think when you see this art that our faculty and these students create, I think it brings something special to the college. Our art students participated in the Fort Worth jury exhibition this past spring, and the jury meanings they had to reach a certain level and be accepted by art critics, and they were, and they were part of the exhibit. And we're planning on working with Workforce to provide 3D printing, and again, more of the technology that's coming into the art. And we're going to have at some point, and this is money, but a Mac lab, because that technology is there and we have to have it. Okay, and here is, you see some of the art. Okay, in audio engineering, this is the new program that was approved, just started last fall. This is where the students learn to record, to work in a recording studio, and they're working with state-of-the-art equipment. And when you attend an event in the Texas Hall or the ALCAC now, everything you do or hear or see is a student is running it. So we're training our students to do that. They're getting on-the-job experience. And our audio engineering students are currently editing 4 years of recorded songwriters from the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. And these completed programs are sent back to Nashville and broadcast over national radio. So we started that this summer in the second summer session. We're going to have to continue it in the fall. But the folks from Bluebird are very satisfied with the work, and so we're excited about that. They're even saying they may bring some students up to Nashville, so to see their end of what's going on. Okay, in choir and opera, some first. 2 vocal students placed first in National Association of Teachers of Singing, 1 in Broadway division and 1 in classical division, and both of these are first in Weatherford College. We've had students do well in this, but we've never won first place. We did. Handel's Messiah will return on December 4th for the first time since the pandemic. This was always a great traditional Christmas thing, and so we're having that come back on the 4th of December. And our enrollment in the voice is up 20%. I will say that since the pandemic, we still haven't figured out, not all enrollment has come back in the fine arts. Don't really know why, and it's not just Weatherford College, it's all schools when we talk with them, so we're still trying to work on that. In jazz studies, the jazz orchestra and small groups perform at the DFW high schools and area high schools. The past year they also performed in Wise County, the Presidential Address, Taste of Parker County, Mardi Gras, and the other concerts. How many attended Mardi Gras? Okay, all right. And that's another collaboration. Every area of fine arts was part of Mardi Gras. You might not have known that, but they made it create the art department, the theater, and of course the music and everything, so we're very happy about that. And we will be doing Mardi Gras again. And Mr. Sanders was chosen to perform and teach this summer at the 2023 Ascona Jazz Festival in Switzerland, Ascona, Switzerland. They have asked him to return in 2024 and also to bring the Weatherford College Jazz Orchestra to perform and teach. So we hope that happens. So our piano students, Dr. Song was nominated and selected as a Steinway & Sons Hall of Fame instructor. She will be honored at a reception in October at the Steinway Factory. She is one of 20 instructors from across the nation to be selected. And we're going to invite as many people. We would love to take people with us. If you can make that trip, we would love to have you. There will be a tour of the Steinway Factory, which is pretty amazing to see how pianos are made. And it's an art in itself. So we hope you would take the advantage. We're going to get invitations out, and so please join us. The Weatherford College International Piano Competition continues to attract the best young pianists from around the world. This year there were 80 entries. These are the 12 finalists. We have submitted a request to the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board for a one-year piano performance certificate. The reason for this is that there are students like the ones you just saw who don't really want a traditional music education. They want to prepare for performance, competition, and concerts. And so Dr. Song and I are working on, and we've got it to our Vice President of Instruction, and it's gone, we've gone to the core board, and hopefully we get that approval. Like I say, there's some students that this will be a great attraction to. And also, one thing that we're very happy to do, Weatherford College and faculty and piano students perform monthly, every month, at the Arlington Memorial Hospital. They have a Steinway piano. Dan Docker donated a piano there, and so we go there every month and perform. And you know, okay, it's a drive and it's not in our community, but if you could see the faces and the things that happen, the emotion when you've got people in the hospital, when they can sit down and have a time to hear great music, it makes a difference, and so we think we're making a difference, and we are. Okay, in theater, there were 7 productions staged last year and 3 this past summer. Acting 2 class, I mentioned it. This is the one that combined with the MIDI class, which is the audio engineering course, and they collaborated with that. And another good news on enrollment is the theater department has grown from 10 majors in 2015 to an average of 25 in the semester. So we're looking at many great things that are happening thanks to this faculty. But now I want to show you a video. Of course, we have Dr. Song, and we want to recruit. We're attracting Korean students, and we want to recruit in Korea. And so I thought, well, let's make a video and send it to Korea. Well, we found out that it's very political, but we're trying to figure out a way through Steinway to get it over there, and we will. But we've created this video, and it's originally in Korean, but now we put it English overdub, and so you're going to see it. And if you have questions about any of this, we'll talk later, but I want you to view this video.
Hello, I am Nurihan, a student at Weatherford College in Weatherford, Texas. I am here in the major Outcap Fine Arts Center. I choose Weatherford College because of a good environment to study music and great professors. I am studying classical piano with Dr. Hae-young Song and jazz piano with Mr. Frederick Sanders. Dr. Song is very passionate about teaching and values her time with all students, always willing to answer questions and teaching the importance of musical expression, developing technique to express the students' emotion. Mr. Sanders also enjoys his students and as a master teacher and pianist taught me how to enjoy music. Professor Sanders has many years of experience performing with many great jazz artists. Weatherford College is proud to be not only an all-Steinway school but also a Steinway Spiral school. Because of this, we perform on the world's greatest pianos. With the Spiral technology, we are able to hear and experience the greatest pianist's past and present performance. Steinway has taken the piano to a new level of musical ability for performance and learning through Spiral while preserving the tradition of its excellence. Weatherford College is honored to be a partner with Steinway with a shared global vision that impacts performance and learning in all styles of music. Weatherford College welcomes student diversity with international students, including Koreans like myself. Dr. Song and Mr. Sanders focus on bringing out the potential of each student so that they perform at the highest level. I have taken courses in jazz piano, jazz orchestra, and small ensemble along with my classical training. I highly recommend Weatherford College for an environment where I study, practice, and perform with students from other countries, learning the values of other cultures. I want to recommend Weatherford College to anyone, especially foreign students, who expect highest level of training on the world's finest pianos. Scholarships are available in classical and jazz studies. You may visit the Weatherford College website for more information.
Weatherford College, eso Benaya.
Thank you, sir. Very nice. Very nicely done.
Mr. Chair, just to finish up real quickly on the reports, late breaking news as of yesterday, the latest college rankings came out as reported by the Fort Worth Star-Telegram paper yesterday and broadcast on WFFA Channel 8 last night. Weatherford College was ranked the ninth best Texas in college, best college in Texas, and was the #1 community college in the great state of Texas. We were highlighted along with Rice University, TCU, and SMU. And when you drill down into the rankings, the two areas that we received the highest marks on that really separated us from all of our peers, and we've got representatives from both groups here today, was our safety. We received an A rating in safety and in our fine arts program, which was so highly rated. So again, congratulations to both groups, and thank you for raising the institutional profile of Weatherford College to new heights. Great job.
The #1 community college in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
How about that? Thank you to the Fine Arts Department for your great contribution in that regard. So pleased with those kinds of reports. The next item on our agenda appears to be for President Farmer, future agenda items.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it's August budget season, and we will be meeting, as previously noted, on August 21 for the public tax hearing at noon in the community room of the Emerging Technologies and Workforce Building. It will be a called meeting to adopt the 2023-24 budget and the 2023 ad valorem tax rate. Again, here in the community room of the Emerging Technologies and Workforce Building, immediately following the public tax hearing.
Item number 9 on the posted agenda is announcements, and Susan Sodek is going to do that for us today. Susan, would you take just a moment and introduce yourself?
Well, good afternoon. I'm Susan Sodak. I'm the new advancement specialist here at Weatherford College.
And how long have you been here now?
2 months.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you very much. And I was going to say thank you to you at the board for allowing me the opportunity to come and present these upcoming events that we're doing here at the college. And hopefully I will do just as good a job as Brent typically does every month. So anyway, first of all, I do want to take this time to invite you to our in-service opening session. That's this Monday, August the 14th. It'll be at the Alkek Center. Breakfast is served at 7:30 and the program begins at 8:20 a.m. We have several volleyball matches coming up. We have 2 home tournaments. One is August the 18th through the 19th and September 8th through the 9th, with our conference play beginning September the 13th at home. Fall classes begin on Monday, August the 21st. I know we're anxiously awaiting that. Our fine arts season opens on September the 8th with Beethoven's Piano Sonata Concert 2 by Dr. Song. That will also be at the Alkek Fine Arts Center at 7 o'clock p.m. We do have our presidential luncheon coming up, and we would also like to invite you to attend that as well. That will be on September the 19th at the Allkeck Center, and the program begins at 11:45, and we will have more information to come on that. And finally, please mark your calendars for September the 28th. It is the Weatherford College Foundation Golf Tournament. We have a 9 a.m. shotgun start at Canyon West Golf Course. So that concludes the announcements, and I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Susan. Appreciate it. Item number 10 on the posted agenda is the closed session to consult with the college attorney to deliberate real property and to deliberate appointment, employment, evaluation, duties, discipline of public officers or employees in accordance with the government code. So at this time, we will adjourn into a closed session. It's now 3:38 in the afternoon, and we've concluded our closed session of discussions, and we're back on the open agenda once again. Item number 11 is consideration and possible action on real property. There is no action to be taken on that at this time. Item number 12 is consideration and possible action for the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer and employee. There is no action to be taken on that item at this time. We're down to item number 13. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you very much. We're adjourned.